Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Coaches. I'm again given the reins to run the ship. So my name's Richard, the bandwagon conductor Laddie. I'm joined by, as always, my main man, John Lazo. John, there's an old saying in rugby league: 1 point's 1 point. Are you getting on board with that?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'll be straight up honest with you. I thought we were going to, because I was actually checking my phone at the time because I was at the Chiefs game, working at the Chiefs game, Hurricanes Chiefs game. I was just trying to check it. I thought that I saw the score. I thought we were out of it, but then saw that we were draw. I was actually just ecstatic. But then when I actually watched the game in full, yeah, a pretty ordinary game. I saw a lot of comments saying, what an amazing game. What an amazing game for it to go in the Golden Point. But I just thought it was quite an ordinary game. I thought we played really ordinary. I didn't think Manly were that flash either. I think we gave them too many opportunities and stuff. And yeah, we may have got the draw. And I guess putting on that performance and salvaging a draw and getting 1 point from it, yes, you'll take it. Because, the way they were playing, they didn't deserve to win, in my opinion. Love the Wars, love my Warriors, but the way they played, it was pretty ordinary. And yeah, I'm not sure if a lot of people will agree, but that was my opinion. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, do you think it was their worst performance of the year?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. The games that they've lost so far against the Storm and Cronulla, they actually put on some decent performances. They had some lapses, but they still did a pretty good job. And they should have beaten the Storm, as we all know. And yeah, they put on some performances. There was nothing to worry about. But yeah, Saturday's game, watching it, it was just it was very ordinary. To be honest, Manly, there's a lot of Manly fans out there just talking about the whole Sean Johnson being clipped on the leg. It was a bit of a soft penalty. It may be a soft penalty, but the thing is, rules are rules. But they shouldn't be actually focusing on that cost them the game, because that's what they're talking about, costing the game. They should be talking about what cost them the game was that they were 8 points ahead with 1 minute to go. I went back and looked, and it was like, I'm sure it was 79th minute. It was either the 78 minutes and 50-something seconds, or 79th minute. They were 8 points ahead. It was kind of like a bit of a reverse in how things play out, because the Warriors are normally the team that would be 8 ahead with 1 minute to go and cough up the points and lose the game or draw the game. And it was the other way around this time. So again, I mean, overall, to be honest, I don't have much to say about it, because it was just it was really ordinary. That's the word that was the word that kept popping into my mind watching the game. This is really, really ordinary. A lot of unforced errors. There were some good moments on attack, especially with Jazz's try, etc. But nothing special. And to be honest, I'm surprised Manly just didn't pile on the points at some point. But we stayed in the game, and yeah, we won ugly. Take it. Oh, sorry. We drew ugly. Take it. But yeah, wasn't our best showing.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. On the penalty, whether it should have been a penalty. I mean, the fact, I think he's, he obviously has been charged. He's got a week off. He's got a week off this week, so it obviously means that it is a penalty. Maybe last year wouldn't have been a penalty, but it's obviously something they're cracking down on. We talked last week about the Freddie Lussick hit. He ended up getting 4 weeks for his. And to be honest with you, there wasn't that much difference in Lussick's hit, or the
same intention.
No difference in Lussick's hit. The intention is that there wasn't the intent to hurt, but you just can't hit someone's leg. He quite clearly did. Like when SJ obviously grabbed at his leg after that, I was like, oh, he was obviously probably milking it a little bit, but it also would have hurt. But I was like, oh shit, hopefully he hasn't done anything, because he's obviously had some pretty serious leg injuries over the years. So no, I think it was obviously the right call. I mean, to get the and originally I was like, oh, the kick will be from, where he got tackled, but then I was like, oh no, it's from where the ball lands, isn't it? So we'll take that. As far as the Golden Point went, it sort of showed, I don't know, the importance of defense in it. It was. I mean, we had. Obviously Tohu Harris sort of had that fumble, which was unfortunate, because that was our best shot. But even like Sean Johnson had a pretty, not an easy shot, but a shot that you'd expect him to get probably as well. But apart from that, no one else. I think Cherry Evans got 1 or 2 droppies away, but they were both from behind the 40-meter mark. Even when they got a 7-tackle set, I don't even know if they got up to halfway in the Manly. Manly didn't get up to halfway in the next attacking set, so it just showed. Even though I think both teams were pretty spent by the end. Defensively, though, I think we did a good job to sort of not let them in. When they got their 7-tackle set, I was a little bit concerned. But 1 point's 1 point. Obviously, a bit of a downer from the game was that Jazz going off with his hamstring injury. So he's obviously out this week. I haven't seen an indication of how long it's going to be. I think TBC was the last thing I saw. But real shame, because he brought some amazing energy into that game. Like we were down 12-0 and looking a little bit lost, really, and he just sort of came on, scored that sort of great try. So hopefully, for him, it's not too long, because Jazz will be back. Not Jazz, so Dylan Walker will be back, I think, next week. I think he's aiming to be back Anzac Day. So those two are obviously they're going for that same spot. And I think Walker's definitely put himself in front of Jazz now. So hopefully, Jazz can sort of bounce back from that. I was listening to the Warriors Anonymous podcast, and they were asking whether that's the last time we've seen Jazz in the Warriors jersey. What do you reckon of that? Yeah, I was like, it might be a bit premature.
Oh, okay. Was it Gerard or something?
Yeah. I think one of them was talking about asking that.
You have to hit him up about that question, eh? Yeah, that's an interesting question. Where did he get that from? Has he got some inside info? I'll ask Gerard. If you're listening, Gerard, we'd like to know what your insight is on that. But it's again going back to the game. We have our segment, the Wally M's, and it was hard to pick. I actually got 2 players who I thought were awesome, but it was hard to pick a third one because I just thought we weren't flash at all. Going back also to the Sean Johnson controversy of that kick. Sorry. Technically, I agree with you in the sense of it's a penalty because you make contact. They deem it a penalty. Freddie Lussick did it. Reason why he got 4, I don't know why this should be different, because he just, there was no intent to hurt the Souths player, but he broke his leg. And then, thankfully, it didn't happen to Sean Johnson. But do you still think that it's a bit soft, the penalty? It's a soft penalty because if you're going for a charge down, which obviously he was trying to do, do you think that, there's always an opportunity, there always might be a case where we might just nudge them? And I think Sean Johnson said after the game he had a bit of a cork, which I can understand. I mean, we may not on TV. We might look at it in a different way, but when you're actually on the field and someone's running at you like that and just clips you, it can actually hurt. You just briefly, like just a immediate pain, but it goes away after 20, 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Starts to die down, sort of type thing. So, do you think it was a soft penalty? Do you think that's something that they need to look into because the intent is to charge down, and because you're trying to charge down, it might happen. Because you're trying to charge down a kick, where the kick is right on their boot, obviously, and to charge that down, you're going to be close to the player. So there is always a chance that you're going to touch the player. So do you think it's actually really a too soft of a penalty?
Well, as I said last week about Lussick's, I mean, probably last year, it wouldn't have been a penalty. Last year it wouldn't have been a penalty, but they've obviously made that the rules, and they're putting. I don't know. It's good to put the players' safety, players' well-being in front of it. So players just need to be smarter about when they're charging down. I'm sure it won't be the last time we see it, this year. Considering we've seen two in a row, but it was good timing for the Warriors for it to happen, because Warriors Manly fans could complain about it, but we're like, well, we've lost a player for 4 weeks from doing the same thing. So, you guys
Manly got nothing to complain about, mate.
Lost the point, and I don't know, he's not exactly one of their star players, isn't it, LOI? But
Manly. They've gotten away with a lot of things. I mean, remember that sort of knock-on try that everyone sort of stopped because they thought it was a blatant knock-on, and the guy just kept going, pay to the whistle. Fair enough, he played to the whistle. I was like, so Manly fans,
one of the
they
worst
can't
calls in a very long time.
exactly. They can't say much. So it happens in league, and yeah, I just think it's a little bit of a soft penalty, to be honest. But hey, the rules are rules, so that's where I agree with it. But I'm just wondering, is it something they need to look into because it's quite soft. It's a physical contact game.
Well,
So,
I think it's something that's something they've obviously looked into, and this is the rule, and this is sort of like they're cracking down on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm sure there'll be plenty more pretty more examples of it this year, and perhaps so there'll be some changes made. But I think players need to know not to if they're going to go for a charge down. I don't know. Attack come from a different angle, come from sort of like a perpendicular angle almost.
Yeah. Well, what about our right edge? I mean, are you still happy with the right edge defense at the moment? Our right edge defense, or are you still a bit like there's still got some improvements to make?
Yeah, I mean that second Cherry try in particular looked a little bit too easy, eh? There was holes everywhere. I mean, Dylan was off for a week, and Chance was only the second game back, and Chance had an awesome game. I thought, on the whole, he was everywhere. But there's just probably there was just a few holes that were looking a little bit big, and it was getting a little bit easier. Was Travojevic just that was on left edge, wasn't it? Because that try was too easy as well. I think just. It was sort of like the tries that Manly scored were just, they made it look really easy. But then defensively, we were actually pretty good on the whole. There was I think Tohu Harris got over 50 tackles. Jackson Ford was like 46 or something like that. So, there was some big efforts defensively from those guys, especially with Jazz going off and a few guys probably playing more minutes than they intended to, and then the extra 10 minutes of the game. But I don't know. I'm sure Webster's. Webster would have seen it. I think particularly that second Cherry try. I thought it was just like, how did that happen? Because it was just all of a sudden. I think was it Talau on that left edge, and he just had acres to run, and then just put that chip up, and Cherry Evans and I think Travojevic were the two players there, and there was no other Warrior sort of even close. So, I'm not worried. No, I'm not worried. No, because it's sort of like it's not like it's. I feel like that was more of an isolated incident. It's not something that's happening week in, week out.
I agree. I agree. I mean, in a nutshell, it was just an ordinary game, nothing to worry about. We know what they're good enough to they'll bounce back and play to their. They just had an off day, so to take 1 point from playing that poorly, I thought, you'll take it any day. I'm pretty sure anyone will take that. But I think the Manly tries that they got in, they were just too simple, too easy, and the Warriors won't be happy about that. And that's the good thing about their mindset changes, that they won't be happy about the easy tries they let in. So no, it was just like I agree. I'm not worried either. It was just an off day for me, but it doesn't change the fact that they were pretty basic on the day.
They were, and we'll take. I think 2 years ago, no way would we have been able to salvage a point from that game. We probably should have got 2 points. We got ourselves in the two best positions to win the game and Golden Point, but unfortunately we weren't able to execute. Obviously the conditions are, didn't look like it was great conditions there. So in Auckland, but another packed out. Well, it was sold out. I don't know whether I think would have been a few extra seats when people saw the weather forecast, but on the whole, we'll take a point and go forward.
Exactly.
You mentioned the Williams before. We might as well just give out our points for the week quickly. Do you want to start us off?
3 points for my man Mitch Barnett. I thought he was. I think like if you were gonna take some shining lights out of this game, he would be one of them for sure. And I mean, I'll just veer off for a second. The last episode we were talking about State of Origin, about Wade Egan, that Michael Maguire must be. We were talking about Michael Maguire must, when he was in the Kiwis role, approaching Wade Egan about that. But now that he's in New South Wales role, he must be doing that. And and it's apparently he's on his radar, which is like we called it. But we also were talking about, would Mitch Barnett be on Michael Maguire's radar as well, because he's playing so well. He's versatile, so he can play in the front row, but he can play in the second row as well. He can last 80 minutes. He can play for a full 80 minutes. and also they tend to pick players like as we said last week that just have the name to them, the Safidis and stuff, and and stuff like that. But they're not doing that well. If you're going to pick on form rather than just reputation, go with Mitch Barnett. I think he is doing an awesome job in putting himself in contention for State of Origin for New South Wales, because not only was he attacking well, see out the try for Sean Johnson, when he offloaded to Sean Johnson, when he scored that awesome try, but also defensively, you saw how he picked up I can't remember what player it was, but he picked up their player and drove him back, into the end goal as well. So I just think he had an awesome game.
It was Koala or Talau, one of those two. Yeah. It was a huge play. It was at an important stage of the game as well.
Exactly.
He'd made a big defensive play on the other end. Just quickly, while you've talked about it, you've just walked into this one as well, because my start bench drop for this week. My start bench drop for this week is based on Mitch Barnett in New South Wales.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I've got 3 prop forwards for you, 3 front rowers. To choose, 1 start, 1 bench, 1 drop. So I've got Mitch Barnett, Regan Campbell-Gillard, and Utui Kamanu from the Tigers.
Ooh.
So Campbell-Gillard started last year, at least 1 or 2 of the games. Utui Kamanu's there or thereabouts, and he's playing amazing at the moment. So
I'll keep it the way it is.
So start Barnett, bench Campbell-Gillard, Utui Kamanu.
Well, I mean, I actually don't even know if Campbell-Gillard will be in contention, to be honest, for New South Wales. So maybe the other way around, like Barnett starting and Campbell-Gillard to the drop.
They might play some. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. I think I'm actually start Barnett, because I think that he's just he's a workhorse, and I mean he is that quintessential kind of Origin tough man, and he's come a long way in the last few years. And then I'd chuck Utui Kamanu on the bench, because he can bring that bit of X factor from you probably have Haas if he's fit on the other front row. So
cool.
And
if they pick Barnett for Origin, I think it'll go a long way for him to maybe extend at the club as well, if he wants to, because it shows that he's doing so well there at the Warriors, and then the way they play their game, that he's got into higher honors. He didn't get that at Newcastle, so sort of thing. So I think if Mitch Barnett stays on and does play for New South Wales, I reckon there'll be a strong shot of him wanting to stay at the Warriors, because he knows he's got a good thing going, because they've elevated him to where he is now. And I mean, if he's not in contention for New South Wales, I don't know what's going on in the selectors' minds, because he's definitely one of the form props at the moment, because he is playing in the front row. So I would have him in there. Defensively awesome, attacking wise awesome as well. So why wouldn't you pick him? He's on the form players. So yeah, he would have my 3 points. 2 points chance. Workhorse effort again. Can't remember how many meters, but I know it was a lot. Meters.
326.
Well, there you go. Right there. Just on that, you've given
only one behind Joe. That epic performance from Joe Mano on Friday night or Thursday night, whatever it was.
Exactly. So you got that. The reason, and this is why I said it was hard to pick. Those 2 were easy to pick, because they were standouts.
Yeah.
The last member was hard to pick, because no one else really had that much of a great game. Sean Johnson was all right as well. I was either thinking Sean Johnson or Anthony Blake, but I'll go with Sean Johnson just because of that awesome try scored, because it took that little bit of magic to get us in contention, to get the scores going again. So yeah, so those are my 3. Those are my 3.
Nice. I think for the first time ever, pretty much we're sitting from the same sheet with the Walliams, because I had Nickel Clodstead with 3, and then I had Mitch Barnett with 2, and I went with Fanua Blake for 1, but I was in an hour over him and Johnson. So I think there was a clear 4 best players on the field for the Wires.
Fanua Blake sort of try pose, like we got it right. We're on the same page for once. Yeah,
it's so good. Yeah. So I'll just no one's. I think Egan's still on top with 9 points there. But there'll be Mitch Barnett would have made a big play up the.
That's 5 points for him, isn't it? It's 5 points from right there.
Yeah. Clodstead. It might be the first time he's
Yeah.
No, he must be on last week. I might need to have a wee look through the spreadsheet and see what the leaderboard's looking like. Maybe I'll make a wee graphic and put it up on the page this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so big game this week. Oh no, while we're there, I'll go Dalian Klanger of the week. I actually struggled to find one, but I thought DCE getting 6 points was a bit much. I thought maybe one of the Warriors players deserved to get the 3 points from the game, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have a good game, scored 2 tries, but I think that maybe if Manly had won, I would have given it to them. I was like, in a drawn game like that where there was a couple of standout performances from the Warriors. I think maybe, Barnett or CNK would have deserved to get the 3 points on the judges, but not this week.
Oh, it sounds like another Nico Hines moment there, to be honest. I think
I think DCE's, I think he had a good week actually. He propelled him up the leaderboard. So
that's why that's why everyone, if you're listening, put your faith in the Wally M's, because honestly, the actual Deli M's is just a load of crap. And that's me being nice. So that's just a load of crap. Hey, one thing I wanted to bring up with you, I was trying to attempt it today. I was actually looking. I saw a video from on Sky Sport of a reel from the Waz, and it was them. They asked one of those moments, those sort of social media content creator moments where they put a question up and the players are walking from training and then they answer it and on the spot.
I know the video. They're talking about Sean Johnson having a nice house and all the money, heaps of money.
Yeah, that was funny.
Nice
so the question was, who would you trade who would you trade places with for a day? And they all just, Jazz, when they looked at Jazz, just looked at Sean. Rockaberry's like, Sean, money, bank, and Dylan, bank account. Everyone was just like, money, rich, drives a Range Rover, everything. Yeah, everyone just said the same thing, so that's quite funny. But the second question was, give us your best mana wave. And I was like, what the heck's a flipping mana wave? Did you know what a mana wave is before that video?
Nah, I was like, Tohu Harris at the end day where he says, what is he? He says, what's a mana wave?
Yeah, he goes, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, he goes, I don't even know what a mana wave is. You could hear people cracking up in the background. And I just saw them do it. I didn't do any research because I just couldn't be bothered. But I didn't do any research into it. But just attempting from what I saw, I can't even get it right. Like was it like I don't know. That's my attempt. If you're listening to this on Spotify or anything anywhere else, you have to go to YouTube to see it. But here's my attempt. Show me what a mana wave is. Show me what a mana wave is.
Okay, we'll try it. Nah. Just cut that.
Yeah, nah. I just think
it's not for white boys to do for starters, I think. Dallin did one actually. I don't know. Did you see Dallin? He did one when he scored.
Yeah, there's one.
He's like on his knees. So that's skill to be able to do that. But I was very much with Tohu Harris there, and I think Fanua Blake. Was it Fanua Blake as well? Someone else said something.
What's that? Yeah, I don't even know what a mana wave is as well. But so that. Thought we attempted, but obviously, if you're listening to this right now, we failed miserably. So if you want to look at our fail, go to YouTube and see this video when it's up. So yeah. I think we just embarrassed ourselves right there. So anyway, let's move on. To the
next thing.
Yeah.
Dragons this weekend in must be Wollongong, is it? Yeah. I feel like it's I know it is a venue which we've actually not had a lot of luck at over the years, but with how the Warriors are going at the moment and how the Dragons are going at the moment, should be a relatively. I don't know. I don't want to get too confident, but I feel like we should bounce back all right from that. The Dragons coming off pretty good win against the Tigers, who are not the Tigers of old. It's a much better Tigers team we've seen, and it was 24-12 in the end, and they dominated. Lomax is gone into the centres with Jack Bird out with a head knock for them. But I suppose the big talk with the Warriors is probably the state of the bench. It's not the strongest bench we've played in the last few weeks. I think 1 to 13's same again, isn't it? Yeah,
it's the same starting lineup. Yeah, but the bench is obviously through injury. They've had to move things around, but I can't help but feel that they'll going. So 1-13, same as last week. So I don't really have to go into that too much. But the interchanges: Harris Tavita, Tom Ale, Jacob Levin, and Pompey. And I think Pompey's there to cover the backside, the backs area, the back line area, just to cover, anywhere around there. Winger, centre, etc. And then you got Tom Ale and Jacob Logan. They played the forwards. Harris Tavita, he can cover, pretty much be that utility role. But as Webster tends to do, last minute when they can, it tends to change it up a bit. Someone drops out and someone goes in, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I would have. Yeah.
Sorry. There's chat. I did say there was chat that I think Zion.
Yeah.
Maui, I think. I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. There's chat that he might come in for Pompey. It seems pretty weird having someone covering your backs when you've already got Harris Tavita who can come in and probably you've got players who can kind of be moved around. Roger can go to the back. Harris Tavita come in, probably could play centres, and then sort of like Berry could move out if need be, or we'd have no centres if that happened. But there's probably other things that could happen, even with likes of Catewell. You can chuck Catewell in the centres if you need to. So
exactly.
it might be just a bit of a head game there. Well, Pompey was good. I think those 2 games he didn't play last week, but the 2 games before that, I thought he was good. Didn't really do much wrong. So it's good that
we won when he played. So he hasn't done so much, like you said. He hasn't done much wrong. But because in the NRL rules, they have to name their teams by Tuesday 4 p.m. Australian time, so 6 p.m. New Zealand time. You don't get a lot of time to analyze things. I've seen that myself. At the Hurricanes and stuff. Like when there's a short turnaround, you gotta put the team together quickly and stuff like that. So it's changes can be made quickly. It can change. Towards the end of the week. So I wouldn't be surprised if Webster changes that interchange by the end of the week. But if not, still have the faith that we know we'll take down the Dragons in Wollongong.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at this. The Wollongong. We won. I think just found an article. In 2018 we won there, but it was the first time we'd won there in 11 attempts. And I could be wrong, but I think the last time that we played there was I think last time we played there we won 48-18, so it's probably not such a hoodoo there. I was thinking of, I don't remember, there was a game 2 or 3 years ago where we played the Dragons. It was a Friday night. I remember watching on the waterfront in Auckland, and we were up by 12-18 points with like 15 minutes to go, and then they magically scored like 4 tries to, it was just one of those classic Warriors games. But no, I don't think that'll be happening this week. I think Webster will be putting some pressure on. They'll be training hard this week. They've been pretty good on the road this year. No, they haven't. Oh, yeah.
They've been all right. I think they've been better on the road than at home, to be honest. They've played better on the road than at home. I think I just looked at some stats here. It says here that we're unbeaten in our last 4 outings, because the draw obviously means we weren't beaten. And we boasted best defense in the competition, conceding just 94 points in 6 matches. So, they're also first for most meters gained, 11,445, all runs and kick return meters. So we're doing pretty well. Second for tackle breaks, 197, third equal on set completions at 81%.
81%. That's unheard of for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's actually stats are looking good. And individual categories, Sean Johnson leads all players for line engaged runs. 64, all kicks, 123, and attacking kicks, 74. And he's first equal for line break assists with 7.
That's some Dally M stats right there, but will not happen because
Nico Hines will get them, and even though he does nothing. So you might as well pull out the Nico Hines, awards, because it's might as well give him the trophy now. Why don't you just give him the flipping trophy now?
Oh, or Ponga,
Yeah, or Ponga, exactly. Give Ponga or Nico Hines. Exactly.
Ponga to go back to back. Yeah, nah. So I think it should be good Friday night. I do love a good Friday 8 p.m. game.
Yep.
I'm crossing my fingers. I think the Warriors will do it, and they'll do it comfortably. 13 plus for me.
Agree. Let's talk about some other news that's some coming out of the NRL world. Joey Manu signed on the dotted line, heading to Japan to play rugby. What do you make of that?
Oh, it's one way to ruin your career, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants the money. He's going for the money. I mean, he obviously wants to play fullback. Not going to play fullback at the Roosters, unfortunately. Even though when he does, every time he plays fullback, he's the best fullback in the game. Like.
Yeah.
But Tedesco's obviously playing great footy this year. He's back this week, so Manu goes back to the centres. Yeah, I'm pretty gutted, to be honest. I like watching him play league. If he wants to, and it's sort of, I don't know, it feels a bit weird. Yeah, like it feels a bit weird that maybe like the Roosters have sort of been like, oh, we're not going to let you play anywhere else, or so you can go play, make some cash, make some bank, and play in Union. I see Ian Foster's actually signed for that same club. It's his first head coaching gig since leaving the All Blacks, so it's another way to I don't know, ruin your career. Play in an Ian Foster coach team. Aaron Smith will be there as well, so good luck to him. But yeah, I was pretty gutted.
I mean, he's going to Toyota Verblitz, so obviously there's a massive, awesome car in the mix as well. I'm pretty sure every Japanese club is owned by a motor company. So you sign on the dotted line, not only get poured money into your bank account, brand new car, probably waiting there in the wings there, and
well, he's been playing for the Roosters the last few years, so sure there's been a few cars, a few pulls from Nick Politis is pulling some strings, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. And but the thing is about Japanese rugby and why so many players go. I mean, I'm talking about just from watching the exodus of our players, rugby players from here going over there. It's quite attractive because not only is that league marketed pretty well, it's building up. A lot of international players are going over there. The money's good. But what's I think is what the most attractive thing about it is the fact that their season is short. I think it's a 15-round season, and obviously that I mean, no disrespect to Japanese players because they've done a really good job over the past few years about improving their rugby. They've done really well, but it wouldn't be like playing against New Zealand sides each week or South African sides each week. So, I'm not trying to say it's going to be like a walk in the park for them. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm going to say it's not at that level of Super Rugby or, in South Africa we're here, playing those sort of teams. And it's a way of going there, getting some money, but also it's good experience. Who wouldn't want to go to Japan for a good 6 months for the experience? And like I said, I'm pretty sure he's joining Toyota Verblitz. There will be something. I don't know much about cars. I don't know what the latest Toyota main car is. But I'm sure it'll be there when he arrives. So sad to say he's gone, but what can you do? So good luck to you, Joey, and we'll welcome you back with open arms. But come back to the Warriors. Come to the Warriors. Don't go to the Roosters. Come to the Warriors.
Yeah, we wouldn't say no. He would slot him quite nicely in that back line at the moment. I don't know where you'd put him, but I'm sure we'd be able to find a spot on the bench with 18th man.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but on Joe Manu, that performance on Thursday or Friday night against the Knights was one of the great fullback performances. He was everywhere. I had him to score a try, and he did everything. But he had about 3 try assists, 347 running meters. Wasn't 370 like it was first. It was first. The NRL stats originally said 370 meters, which was the NRL record, but then I think they since downgraded that number. I mean, so he'll be missed, but we've still got a few more rounds to watch him to enjoy. seen him do his thing. Terrell May also re-signed, or Terrell May re-signed, I think it was today or yesterday, with the Roosters. He's been a great find this year for the Roosters. Plays some huge minutes off the bench, and just gets through a mad load of work. So he's got 2 more years of the Roosters. That's a great signing for them. And Zach Lomax off to the Eels next year. So there was obviously, he got the, didn't quite get the Ben Hunt treatment when Ben Hunt tried to leave. They just wouldn't let him. So obviously not that important, not as important to the club, but he'll be missed because he's playing some really good, amazing footy this year. He's almost in New South Wales contention.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but I know. I mean, I think his move is not just purely out of purely because there's a better deal. Because I've read that the deal is a lot less than what he makes at the Dragons. I think it's just because there's just
he's on like 800,000. He's on like 800,000 in Dragons.
Yeah, I think there's just some disconnect, with him and the hierarchy there. And I mean, obviously I don't know the full story, but I've heard about it, and I think that he just wanted out, and I can understand that. But I think he's on a lot less money. I don't know what exactly we'll be making, but I think he's on a lot less money. I don't know if the Dragons will have to supply some of that salary, because the rules state that if a player goes to another club, their salary can't be lower than what they're earning. So there's some sort of rule. Probably have to look into it because you get the fine details. But yeah, that's why a lot of clubs top up. When a player leaves, they still top up their players' salaries because they've left and they've got to top up whatever is remaining from the club that they're paying them now. So it's just like, how does that work? How the heck does that work? I mean, we Warriors had to do that for what's his name? Sorry,
Matt Lodge.
Matt Lodge, that's the one. Yeah, we had to do it with Matt Lodge when he went to the Roosters. I mean, where is that going now? I haven't seen him.
He's playing. He's at Manly. He's playing this week.
That's right.
ACL, I think. And he's just come back from that because LOI's out, for the week. So
imagine if he played on the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
One of the great Warriors, that game where he got sent off and last game of the season and pulled the fingers at the crowd, and it was against the Titans. One of the great games. So no, plenty of NRL news. It's never a shortage of some drama happening.
Yeah.
Should we head into tips? We have a wee look at how we went last week. So we finished off last week. You clawed your way back a little bit. I think I was up by 2. But I've extended my lead this week after a pretty good week on the tips for myself.
Yeah.
So I had the Roosters on Thursday night. You went the Knights. We both had the Storm.
I thought that. Sorry, I just thought that I had that in the. I thought I had it in the bag, and with the Knights and stuff. The weather was crappy, and I thought the Knights would. I mean, I watched the first part of it where the Knights were doing well, and I was just like, okay, here we go. But then, far out.
Couldn't hold on.
Yeah.
Then Storm Bulldogs. Storm just hold on. It's a great game actually. The Bulldogs. I don't know. They're definitely not spoon material. I think that they should win a few games this year. They obviously beat the Roasters last week, and then probably should have been the Storm. They had all the momentum, and then the Storm scored that late try. Broncos, Dolphins. Broncos, just once Tabuai Fido was injured in the first half, Dolphins just had nothing on attack. So both had the Broncos there. We both picked the Wars. It was a draw, obviously, so no points. Both put the Cowboys, which didn't see the Eels. After coming off that big loss to the Raiders the week before. But good on the Eels. Got a winnable game this week as well, which should be interesting. I managed to talk you into backing the Rabbitohs, which was a bad call. So I'll take the point for the Sharks. The Sharks beating the Rabbitohs. You had the Dragons, I had the Tigers. So you got one back there, and we both had the Raiders. Just snuck in against the Titans on Sunday night. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you got 4. No, wait a minute. 1, 2. 5, and you got 1, 2. 4. Yeah, so I just got one more than you. So 29-25 is how the tips are sitting now. And we've got another eight rounds to tip now. So we've got the Roosters Storm Thursday night to kick off. One of the great rivalries in the NRL. Playing in Sydney. I think the Roosters are slight favourites. Sorry, I don't have the odds here, but I'm going to go with the Storm here because I think that Roosters have still got no Sam Walker. He's on the extended bench, but looking likely Connor Watson will play in the halves. And I
think Nelson's back as well.
Nelson's back for the Storm. Munster's been pretty sluggish the last few weeks, but I think he's due a big game. So I like the Storm as apparently it's $1.87 each, so the bookies can't separate them.
Yep, I'm going with the Storm as well. That's me.
Dragons Wars on Friday night, 8 p.m.
Wars 13 plus.
Wars 13 plus, yeah, same. Oh, so I want to try off that. Plus won't let you get the extra point. Eels Dolphins. Eels $1.40 favourites. Who would have known that a few weeks ago? Dolphins are in all sorts. They've got so many injuries. Tevio Fidal's out this week as well. Milford's been suspended. They've got Sean Sullivan on the bench. Kafusi's still out. Yeah, I'm going to take the Eels pretty confidently there.
Oh, I'm going to go Dolphins.
Oh, nice.
Up,
I like that.
Fins up,
Oh, I'm all for fins up, but I just think that they're going to be having a bit of a hard time.
They're going to have a feed, and the Dolphins are going to feed on those Eels, so it's all good. No, all good.
You want to take the Tigers over the Panthers?
Yeah, nah. They've made improvements this year, the Tigers, but still, I don't think they know that. Yeah, nah. That's not.
No Cleary back yet, which is might start getting a little bit concerning for Panthers fans. I think they expected he'd be back by now, but
But do you think they're just resting him one more week just in case because they know that they could do this against the Tigers?
Yeah, but I think that like from what I don't know. I just read something the other day saying it's his recovery's not going as well as I'd hoped. So
we'll
see whether he's back next couple of weeks. Yeah, because hamstrings can be very niggly, as sort of we know.
Yeah.
Titans, Seagulls. Can the Titans get their first one of the season or?
Nah, I mean Seagulls. I'll go for Seagulls. I mean, once we've gone through the whole list, I might make a change, but because this is the year of the multi-killer, so I think all those betting agencies have been diving in the money because they've. I don't think there'll be many people that would have picked a multi right this year because there have been so many upsets. You know what I mean? Like I don't think many people would have picked the Eels over the Cowboys, for example.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And things like that. Yeah. So it's just I think it's been like that every week. I know it's only the start of the season, but 6 rounds in, and there's always been an upset somewhere. So it's just it's a multi-killer this season at the moment.
You got the Finns already, so they might be the. No, I don't think the Titans are one to do it though. I'm going to go Seagulls.
Yeah.
Broncos Raiders. Broncos $1.41 favourites.
Yeah, Broncos for me. No hesitation.
Still no Reynolds, no Haas. Raiders.
They're good, but they're a team that they're good, but
Rapana's still out.
Yeah, not consistent enough for me.
Chase, not Chevy Chase. Well, yeah, that is his name, isn't it? That's Chevy Stewart. Chevy Chase is the blooming actor.
Chevy Stewart.
Chevy Chase, what a legend.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah. No, I'm going to the Raiders. I'm going to the Raiders in this one. I think after that escape from what could have been a loss to the Titans, I think Ricky would have given them a good old walloping and I think they'll bounce back. And Broncos, I think when they're full strength they'll be good, but there's still. I mean, they did dismantle the Dolphins, but the Dolphins weren't great in that game, so definitely the Broncos look a lot better than they are.
Yeah, I'm still backing the Broncos, and I'm expecting to hear another rant from Ricky Stewart in the post-match presser after that. So
next we've got doggies Knights.
I'm actually going to go doggies. I'm going to doggies with this one.
I'll go Knights.
Yeah.
Um,
I reckon it'll be a close one, but I think
yeah.
the Bulldogs are doing pretty well lately, and the Knights is just I don't know. They're an up and down team at the moment, so I think if
But they lost last week, so on that logic, they'll be up this week.
Yeah, but if the Bulldogs can just play like they did against Melbourne, I think they can do it. They've got the star power. There's no doubt. They've got. I reckon. Hey.
I was just going to say 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, like I would have had no hesitation saying Knights, but I'm still like I'm in an iron, but I'll go Knights. I think. And the other odds are showing that it's still 95 to $83. So
yeah, if you look on paper, Bulldogs look a much stronger team. They look so strong on paper compared to the Knights.
if Kickout can play the way he's played the last 2 weeks, he has been ridiculous. So he's one of my favorite players in the game to watch. It's such a joy to watch.
Former
it could be a really good game.
Former Warrior Josh Curran there starting this time at lock.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah.
And big news for NRL fans in New Zealand. The early Sunday games are at 4 p.m. this week finally, because the last few weeks they've been 6 and 8, which is 8 o'clock Sunday is just a bit much. But
yeah,
I love a good 4 o'clock Sunday game. Sharks Cowboys to finish off the round. Sharkies coming off a win against the Rabbitohs. Cowboys, they'll be pretty disappointed. They'll be very disappointed with their performance in the weekend, I think. Against the Eels. I feel like they should have won that. Cowboys is just one of those teams. Sharks are on top of the table. I'll take the top of the table Sharks.
Yeah, I'll go Cowboys.
There you go.
Cowboys to win, but Nico Hines will get 6 points out of it. So that's my prediction. Yeah, that's my prediction. Yeah.
Let's just start calling this the show that you're always talking about getting a new name, John. Maybe it should just be the Nico Hines Appreciation Pod or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like I've always said, I've always stated this. I've got no issue with him. I think don't know him personally, but obviously he's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. He's not a bad player at all by any means, but he's just. I just think that I think he's getting too much credit for things that he didn't actually really do. If that makes sense. Yeah. So So I'm not a Dalian judge, but I wish I was, because I'd be fair.
We'd be getting it right. The Warriors players would be getting 6 points every week, and that's how it should be.
For sure.
Nice, man. It's probably a good amount of content for listeners to consume for 1 week. Nothing else you want to sneak in there before we call in for the week?
No, I mean, I want to see if people who are listening to this actually will send us clips of their doing a runaway, because I want to see if other people can just as flipping useless as me is trying to do a runaway. I mean, it looks so simple on the video, but sorry. See, I mean, I just stuffed it up the first time. So,
you look like Spider-Man, or
really?
a Dragon Ball Z character doing a Kamehameha or something like
that. That just shows you right there exactly how great I am with it. But if you're listening and you don't mind embarrassing yourself, or send us a clip of you doing a runaway, and we'll put it up there. And I want to give a good shout out to James Carrington over in Sydney. Got some good feedback from him this week about the podcast. So he's loving it, and also he said he was cracking up at the KY little joke that we made it there. But who was the player that we were talking about? It was like
Mark Talia.
Mark Talia, yes, in rugby. There was a person in the league that we were talking about, for starters. I can't remember who it was though. But thanks, James. Appreciate your support, and being a lot of other great feedback as well. So we're thankful for all the support that you guys are giving us by listening to us and watching us, and spread the word, because we're loving this, and we continue to strive to bring you awesome NRL Wars news. Right, bro? How
good. I did also want to give a shout out to my boy Ollie Lowe. He sent us a message on Instagram. He was talking about the first 10 minutes of the game, killing us. What the fuck? Which I couldn't. Well, no, he didn't say what the fuck. He said, "What's the fix? What's the fix for the first 10 minutes?" So maybe we could, depending on how this week's game goes, we should approach that. But yeah, Ollie Lowe, one of the greats, big Wars fan. So shout out Ollie. Hope you're listening, and hope we all get to just sit back and enjoy the Wars picking up the 2 points this week and the gong.
Yeah, and just remember, guys, and I put it on our Facebook chat if you haven't seen it, on Couch Coaches. You heard it here first. We picked Egan about Malcolm Maguire. And I know there was a lot of talk about Egan and Origin, but we were the ones that talked about it must be. We went more deeper into it, talking about Malcolm Maguire. Talking to
Michael Maguire is obviously listening to the podcast. Yeah.
Yes,
so
yes. And
that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story. But I'm saying is that you heard it here first. Found out, put it on the page to show that Michael Maguire has been talking to him. So, yeah, I mean, even though we probably hasn't been listening to this, I'm just going to claim that he listened to this. But
what's going to happen next is Michael Maguire. We call him Mitch Barnett into the
yes. Yes, and we claimed that as well, didn't we not? Did we not say that? So yeah, you heard it here first on Couch Coaches exclusively before everyone else said it. Mitch Barnett, getting his call up for Origin.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Right, thank you all for listening. It's been another great week of NRL chat. Yes, up the Wars, up the Mighty Warriors. Keep the faith, and we'll see you in 1 week's time for another episode of the Couch Coaches.
Cheers, everybody. See you later.